It is rhetoric like this that almost got Donald Trump's head blown off a couple of months ago in Butler, Pennsylvania. If this were a Republican professor, a conservative professor, advocating for Kamala Harris or Joe Biden supporters to be shot, you would see it running around the clock on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and all the other liberal media outlets across this country. The double standard is disgusting, and the hypocrisy knows no bounds.
Guys are smarter than girls. You got some serious problems. That's what frustrates me. There are going to be some males in our society that will refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president. We could line all those guys up and shoot them. They clearly don't understand the way the world works. Did I say that? Scratch that from the recording. I don't want the deans hearing that I said that.
Okay, before we continue, if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, if you're new, click the subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is the end of the month. I would greatly appreciate it if you could just click the subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff to trigger the algorithm. So this professor is on leave. University of Kansas is where he is a professor at. If I didn't tell you that already, he's a professor at University of Kansas. The biggest university in the state by student enrollment. His name is Philip Lalcock. He has a PhD, and he is the director of international student athlete support. So he has a background in helping student athletes explore different majors and course selections, etc. So he helps student athletes. That's his profession. He specializes in helping student athletes, which is pretty remarkable that he would make those type of statements, because most professors, as far as I can remember when I was in college and even high school, most coaches, professors, etc. that are involved in sports, they typically don't have such an extreme leftist communist worldview. This guy's a straight up communist. He said that all people, all males that don't want to support Kamala Harris should be lined up and shot. Really, dude? Like, that's just evil. And it's people like him that influence the mushy brains of the beta male soy boys who don't have masculine men in their lives to serve as role models to teach them that this type of rhetoric is uncalled for and that we shouldn't be listening to people like this. This is why so many college educated white males are voting for Kamala Harris, because they've been radicalized and influenced by people like this. He's clearly a low testosterone individual. He's clearly a very, very vaginal human being. He's just not a very masculine guy. Imagine being so triggered by Donald Trump and by men that don't want to support Kamala Harris that you think they should be shot. Instead of teaching your students that they should be defeated at the ballot box, you're teaching them that they should just be executed. That's not the American way. We have a right to vote for whoever we want. I've been voting Republican for the past 14 years. I haven't voted for a Republican for a major position since 2010. I voted for a Democrat governor in 2010. I didn't even vote for Obama in 2012. I voted against Obama in 2012. I voted for Romney, which, was the lesser of two evils. Romney, we see how he turned out. But I just find this to be extremely, extremely, extremely hypocritical of the left. They do this all the time. They get to make all these radical statements and say things like Trump supporters should be killed and we're a threat to democracy, etc., etc. But when something happens on our side that's not even nearly as egregious, you would think that we started World War III. So I'm not going to take up too much of y'all's time. I just wanted to react to this, viral clip that's making the rounds on social media. Philip Lalcock. He should be fired. If it was a conservative professor, he would have already gotten his pink slip. He would have already been given his separation notice from the university. And you got to think, this is the biggest university in the state of Kansas. It ain't but so many. Kansas ain't that big of a state. You got University of Kansas. You got Kansas State University. And you have, I think, Wichita State, which are the three biggest universities in the state of Kansas. So the biggest university in the state of Kansas has a radical communist professor advocating that men that don't support Kamala Harris should be shot. Only on the left do you see this type of rhetoric. Only on the left do you see this type of blind eye to this type of problem. Because if it was one of us doing this, it would have been all over the news for days and days and days on end. Y'all like, y'all share, y'all subscribe, comment. I'll see y'all on the next one.